That's the problem. That's the problem.
Grande.
Jeez, I'm so stupid. My mind is not working. I'd like to do that. Yeah, no, go me up. If you want.
They got a lot of loaded. It's really big. You have the sheet over here in the
Yeah, and if you look, it's just you. So it's Saturday the 12th, exhibit hall. So it's where they're having the rodeo now, but tomorrow is exhibit hall. So just after the exhibit hall.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if some of you are in here wondering, no, this is not Wes Winters. Wes Winters will not be here tonight. He's actually down in the Silverado Lounge, if you're wondering. But this is our annual Derby seminar, hosted by Ralph Siraco, who's in the middle, with guest handicappers Jon Lindo on the far end, and John Hardoon closest to me. So pay close attention. There won't be a quiz or anything, but they will be giving out some good information. Yeah. So just go the opposite of whatever they say. Just a reminder for those of you who are coming tomorrow for our Derby viewing party, unlike last year or the previous years, it's not in the ballroom. It's actually in the exhibit hall, which is just a little further down towards the arena and the bowling plaza. If you've ever been here for March Madness or the Super Bowl parties, that's where it's at. The doors will open at 9. We do have live writers and kiosks. There is a hat contest at 2 p.m. for those that are interested. So there'll be cash prizes available. We do have some information in the race book if you are interested. So without further ado, I will turn the mic over to Ralph Siraco. And once again, thank you very much for coming.
And we want to thank Steve and all the folks here at the South Point for providing this nice venue, and of course for giving us an opportunity to celebrate America's most famous horse race, the Kentucky Derby. They say the fastest 2 minutes in sports, but with the way the track may be playing tomorrow, I don't think it's going to be. But in any case, we're going to go over the Kentucky Derby. We've got a couple of other races on the card that we're also going to go over. And then I'm going to extract, they don't know it, and they can't do anything about it because we're on stage now. I'm going to extract their best long shot that they like for the day, because that's what I want to hear. But anyhow, of course, you know Jon Lindo, his Lindo Report on Southern California, and of course tomorrow at Churchill Downs as well, available here in the book free of charge. The only place you can get in the gaming capital here, Jon Lindo's Lindo Report. Of course, Jonathan Hardoon has his product as well on his website. And these guys are part of the handicapping team each and every day on the Race Day Las Vegas radio program and TV program that's on YouTube. Also want to remind everybody that the exhibit hall, the doors open at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. 9 o'clock tomorrow morning in the exhibit hall. And it's a big banquet table, so bring your friends and have a good time. And hopefully, not like Churchill Downs, it's not going to rain there. Everything will be fine in the exhibit hall. All right, so now I'm going to get started by just introducing these guys. Jon Lindo, do you have something you want to say here, buddy?
No, hello everyone, and thanks for coming out to the South Point tonight and for tomorrow. Had a good time. The race book was full. The windows were in action. Got all my wagers down, so everything went smoothly, and we anticipate the same thing tomorrow. If you haven't been in the exhibit hall, it's massive. It's huge, so there ought to be plenty of room for your seats. Bring your friends. They'll have live tellers, and they will have the self-serve machines. You can not only bet the horses, but it will be available for sports too. So if you want to bet an NBA playoff game or the NHL or whatever, you can do it right there.
Jonathan.
Yes, sir. We're ready to go? Let's
Yeah.
kick some butt and let's make some money.
All right, you want to do that? Okay, the Kentucky Derby is the 12th race on the card tomorrow at Churchill Downs. Goes, what about just about
3:57 is the post time
57,
listed.
Yeah, our time.
Unless they pull one of the delays they had today. So.
Yes. Then Katie bar the door, I guess. Anyhow, one thing that is kind of unique this year, it always happens, but this year was really, there were really a lot of them, were the late scratches that happened. I mean, usually when we get the top 20 after all the points are given out, you have one or two out of there. But I think a total from the time the points were fully allotted until today, there were like
Baez was like number 25.
Yeah, I mean, there were like 6 horses that came out of the Kentucky Derby over the
Yeah,
last-
there were. We don't have a full field.
Yeah.
It's a field of what, 19? Yeah.
And there may be more to come. So
Yeah, so that's the one unusual thing about it. But the other thing about it is, of course, the 19 that are left, it always is a wide open affair. So we'll get started right now. We're going to go over each horse, and we'll do it in program and post position order. Number 1 is Citizen Bull. Of course, he was the 2-year-old juvenile champion last year by winning the Breeders' Cup Juvenile and the American Pharoah late last year. Of course, he won the Robert Lewis as his 3-year-old debut, but he kind of faltered in the Santa Anita Derby. He'll break from the rail post. Martin Garcia will re-ride him again, and it marks Bob Baffert's return to the Kentucky Derby after that suspension. John, I'll let you go first.
Well, Citizen Bull he was the champion 2-year-old of last year. So he won the Eclipse Award off a very easy trip in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Came back off the layoff in the Bob Lewis at Santa Anita. Had the same kind of very easy trip where they just handed him the lead. And last time I think he got exposed. He had to work a little bit up front, didn't make the lead to begin, and the mile and eighth may have caught up with him too. Bob Baffert said he was a short horse that day. He had planned to take the blinkers off the horse for the race here. After the race was drawn, he worked the horse the following Monday, and all of a sudden at entry time, the horse is staying with the blinkers on. I think the rail has a lot to do with that. I think Martin Garcia has one thing he has to do, is just come out running, because he has no other options from there. I don't think this is a 1.25 mile horse, and there is going to be some pace to lay on him. So Bob Baffert, I'm rooting for to try and get back in the winner's circle. He's already won a stakes this week at Churchill Downs, but this is going to be a tough ask.
yeah, he got a little bit of a break with the scratch of Rodriguez and Grande. Not that Rodriguez would have gone after him, but Grande certainly would have shown speed. So those are 2 important scratches for him. But John's right. This horse was exposed last time out. His previous 3 races that he won, 2 of those races, actually all 3 of them, he was being chased by other Baffert horses. So they never really went after him, and they left him alone on the lead. That's not happening tomorrow. I don't like this horse at all. I think he's in trouble breaking from the inside as well.
Yeah, he really, all of his victories are like comfortable. You would say comfortable victories. But anyhow, he breaks from the rail. All right, number 2 is, by the way, I want to welcome everybody here live at the room here, and also all of the folks that are watching us on the internet as well. We know you're there, and we love you all. All right, number 2 is Neoquis. This horse finished 3rd after battling for the lead in the Florida Derby. He finished 3rd in the Fountain of Youth. Before that, he took the Florida route into the Kentucky Derby. Trained by Saffie Joseph Jr., who, as you all know, is a pretty darn good trainer, but this horse might have it a little bit tough. Now, of course, Flavien Prat was named to ride him because they didn't think Baeza would get in. But Flavien Prat's first call was always Baeza. So when he got in the race, it left this horse open. And of course, as we know, Luis Saez, who was supposed to ride another horse that got injured, was available, and so Luis Saez will now ride Neoquis.
Yeah,
Jonathan?
Saez was supposed to ride Tappan Street for Cox, and the horse broke that. Well, he broke a bone last week working out last Saturday, but he'll be fine. This horse is not impossible. He's improved with each and every start. We should be giving out the odds if you can, John. He's like 50 to 1, right?
I'll find that here in just a minute. Give me a sec to get down to the...
And this is, of course, the advanced wagering that's been going on. It's been
Neo-
going on at
right.
Churchill Downs since, I think, Tuesday or Wednesday, but it just started here in town the other day, I think on Thursday. Go.
Citizen Bull is currently 14-1. Neoquis is currently 48-1.
Yeah, well, I don't know if he's good enough to win, but he certainly has a little bit of a chance. And at 48-1, I would be using him somewhere in your supers or tries on the bottom.
All right, that's so he's a try and a super horse.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 3 is.
I don't get him to comment on the horse?
I thought. What I thought was that you gave the odds that it was good enough.
Real quickly, he makes the race difficult for Citizen Bull because he has speed as well.
Oh, geez.
So they're both going to have to come out running.
Yep.
I can't get past the fact he's never won around 2 turns. So he's got to do something from a bad post that he's never done before. Just too much for me to overcome. So I'm going to pass on Neoquis.
All right. You done?
Yes, sir.
We can move forward.
Number 3 is Final Gambit. This horse won on the synthetic racetrack at Tampa, at Turfway Park, I should say, the Jim Ruby Stakes, and he came from way out of it. I mean, he made one huge bold move on the turn, like all the other horses had turned to stone, and he got the lead, and he pulled away from them as well. That was a very visual win. I don't know if he's going to face the same type of horses, but the horse that finished second to him is also in this race, Flying Mohawk. And he just broke his maiden before that race, so it's kind of an iffy situation. Is he going to come back with a monster race like that, or was it just the synthetic racetrack?
Well, it's Brad Cox, so you can never disregard Brad Cox. However, this horse is kind of hard to endorse, Ralph. He's never been on dirt. He's never, won on anything but synthetic, so I'm passing on this horse.
Final Gambit's a horse, again, no early speed. It has happened before coming off the synthetic.
Yeah.
Animal Kingdom 1
Yep.
was a 2 fills, just missed a couple of years ago. So it's possible, but again, with no experience on dirt, he will get enough pace to set him up. I was told that out of his last work at Churchill Downs, it took him a few days on the track before he started looking good again. So I don't know what that did. Maybe it jarred him up a little bit because he hasn't been on dirt on a regular basis. Just enough for me. Again, any doubts or any mistakes, I'm just going to pass. And if the big gray horse comes running down the outside, I'm going to feel dumb, but he'll beat me.
However, John, the early betting seems to be, he's 15-1, right?
No, he's 48-1. Oh, no, this horse is 15-1.
15-1.
Yes.
That's a crazy price.
Crazy price, right?
I think
For me,
it's
it's too low.
short. Way too short.
It is a short price. All right, the horse that was supposed to break from post 4 and number 4 is Rodriguez. He has been scratched by Bob Baffert, so we move on from there. The 5 horse is American Promise. This horse is a long shot on the board, and we'll get the odds in just a moment. But American Promise is trained by D. Wayne Lucas. Lucas is back in the Derby again.
What else is new?
And he comes off of a win in the Virginia Derby at 1 1/8. And he won that race going away. I don't know what was behind him at the time, but one of the horses that is in this race finished second to him, Regal Judgment. But wait and see how it is. But it's D. Wayne Lucas, John.
Yeah, but they had an awful lot in his favor last time at Colonial Downs on Virginia Derby Day. It was absolutely no passing. As strong a speed bias as you can have. He made the lead, and you see he went 45-1 or 45-2, 108 and change, and he kept going.
Yeah.
It just was that kind of track. He was in the right place on the racetrack, and he won. I don't think that's going to be the case tomorrow. There's other speed, and a completely different set of circumstances. He's a May full. Now, tomorrow's going to be May 3rd. I don't know his absolute birthday, but he might not even be 3 years old yet. So he's handling an experience, a maturity edge to some of these others, and he's going to get a different kind of racetrack. He's only 12-1 on the program right now. I don't see any value in betting American Promise.
I agree with John.
No, I was just going to say, would you not think that price there has got something to do with the name D. Wayne Lucas, right? Sure.
Right.
Like the one before is Cox, but Cox is they'll let him get off at 48-1, and the Lucas horse is only 14-1. But John's right. The race he ran last time out at Colonial Downs was completely bias-aided. Whoever made the lead, there was no passing anyone that day,
Yeah.
and he took total advantage of it.
All right, and then we'll move to one of the two horses from overseas, and the Japanese horse, Admire Daytona. Admire Daytona won the UAE Derby on the Dubai World Cup night of racing at Meydan. Won that race by a nose, but he won it, and he got the passage to come to the Kentucky Derby. However, this horse, in his past performances, when he raced in Tokyo, has raced on off tracks. He's raced in the mud and finished about 4 lengths off the leader in that race. And he also raced on a good track and was beaten just a nose by Luxer Cafe, who's also in this race. So I don't know what to make of it, but after Forever Young last year, you got to take a look, don't you, Jonathan?
Well, between the two Japanese horses, supposedly Luxer Cafe is the better of the two. I mean, you see it in the PPs where Luxer Cafe has already beaten this horse twice. Mm-hmm. You know, but this horse is a much bigger, if you're going for a Japanese horse, this horse is a much bigger price. Isn't he, John? What is he on the board?
Admire Daytona is currently 40-1.
And what's Luxer Cafe?
Luxor Cafe is 11-1.
And Luxer Cafe beat him by a nose, so that's a pretty big price discrepancy considering how much he lost to the other horse by. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I don't like either one of them, but that's besides the point.
Well, one other thing about Admire Daytona, he has speed. He's going to be up near the front, and not knowing where he'll be exactly, if he's quick enough to make the lead, he's at least going to press these horses. And I don't think he's seen the kind of speed he's going to see tomorrow. He'll have to go after these horses. One of these days, one of these Japanese horses is going to win. They're breeding a better and better horse every year. They were unlucky to lose last year with Forever Young, but I don't think this is the best one coming over. And the way the pace, and if you remember his sire, Dre Fong, he was a sprinter for Bob Baffert, so a mile and a quarter might be stretching things for him.
Yeah, that's for sure. He has, however, carried the assigned weight in the Derby of 126 pounds, where the others have not. If that makes any difference. All right, the 7 horse is next. Number 7 is Luxer Cafe. This is the horse we're talking about that has beaten Admire Daytona twice. Luxer Cafe has definitely come with a lot better credentials, that's for sure. This horse has 4 wins and a second out of 6 lifetime starts. He broke his maiden in Japan, then came right back and won a stakes race, and then came back and won another stakes race, and came back and won another stakes race. So he's winning 3 stakes races in a row. This horse has been bet down to the favorite in every one of his lifetime starts, and he comes here off a 5-length win in his last stakes race. Jonathan?
We haven't discussed it, but there's a chance that the track will be off. You know, this horse at least shows wins on a wet track.
Yeah.
So, again, if you're looking to make a case for the horse, I guess you can, but I think you have much better options coming up.
John?
Well, he's a Japanese racehorse, but he's an American-bred horse. He's by Triple Crown winner American Pharaoh out of a more than ready mare, bred in Kentucky, so he has American roots. I watched the last race, whatever the name of the stakes was, but he showed a really good turn of foot kicking away from the rest of the field that day, going a mile and an eighth. I think he'll get the mile and a quarter. I wouldn't toss him out. If you like him, I wouldn't talk you off of him. 11-1's a little bit low, but at least you know he'll handle any kind of footing, and he does have that kind of turn of foot that somewhere along the race, you know, he might be able to turn it on and get himself into the game.
Wait, you took a shot at pronouncing that? Go ahead, say it.
Fukiuru?
Same to you, pal.
I didn't want to say what I really think.
Yeah, right. Okay, we now move on to the favorite of the road. What is journalism right now?
Journalism is currently the betting favorite, and the Derby is 7-2.
And I think the double, by the way, from the winner of the Oaks today to this horse is like $7 or something for $1.
For $1, yeah,
Yes.
7-1.
Right.
Yeah.
All right,
You can
so
get $9 tomorrow, but they're going to give you $7 7-1 if you had both winners. Figure it out.
yeah, I can figure it out. They bet more on the double. All right, that's easy to. He's number 8. Umberto Espoli will ride. He won the Santa Anita Derby by overcoming some bad racing luck. And he won the San Felipe before that. He won the Los Alamitos Futurity before that. And he broke his maiden before that. So he's won 4 races in a row and has progressed nicely in each of one of those races. Mike McCarthy has been handling this horse just great. They say he's doing very well at Churchill Downs as well to his surroundings. And if there's a horse that needs to be hung as the favorite, I guess this would be it, John.
He's an absolutely deserving favorite, and he might be a really, really good horse.
Yeah.
He has done everything. He's got the right mind that you can go inside, outside, off the pace. If he needs to be close, he'll place himself close. He's a very versatile horse. He will run all day. He's got this big, long, grinding stride. He reminds me a lot of Barbaro. He really does, in that he'll just get up to speed and he'll just keep doing it. He is absolutely the one to beat. If he gets a clean trip, I think he's going to win. But here's the caveat. Umberto Rispoli, his jockey, he's a turf specialist in general. And you watch his races, he likes to go down inside, get horses covered up, and come blasting home. It didn't work last time in the Santa Anita Derby. He went in behind a maiden who stopped. He got shuffled up, and the horse bailed him out. He got out and ran down Baeza in that race. He was tons the best. Earlier today, in the turf sprint, the Philly turf sprint, he rode A.G. Bullet. He tried to come up the inside. He got shut off. In the Kentucky Oaks, he rode a quick kick, went straight down to the rail, got behind horses, and that was that. When you got a horse that's probably the best horse in the field, just get this horse somewhere in the clear down the backside so you have a clean run. Do I trust him 100% to do that? No. And that is the only reason that, to me, he's a little bit vulnerable. If he gets a clean trip, he is absolutely the best horse in this field.
And I got to tell you that, because of Rispoli's ride in the Santa Anita Derby, the horse worked a little harder than he should have. It should have been a really easy race for him.
That was good for him, Ralph. I think that was good for him. He got a little battle. Not easy to find trouble in a 5-horse field.
When you're one of the 5.
Yeah, when you're one of the 5. But the truth of the matter is they all ganged up on him. They put him in everyone was riding him instead of riding their own horses. But that being said, it's still the Kentucky Derby. It's still an 18-horse field or whatever it is. I don't want to bet the favorite in this spot. And again, he could certainly win. He's a terrific horse. Off the figures, he's not that much better than other horses in the race, and there's no value. I'm going to use him because I'm going to key someone else in the race, but I would never key this horse at a short price. I just wouldn't.
7-2 short to you.
Well, he's going to be less than 7-2, I think.
Okay.
And no, not when you have 10-1 shots in the race and horses higher than that.
All right. Well, we'll get how you're going to structure your bet at the end. Okay.
No problem.
Okay. All right. So that's your take on journalism.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it. I'm just hoping that Rispoli. It's the old saying where the trainer always tells the jockey when to give him instructions. How do you want me to ride the race? Ride him like he's the best horse. That's all you got to do.
Will they listen, though?
Well, I'm not going to go down that route.
Okay.
Number 9 is Burnham Square. This horse has been doing very well ever since he's been at Churchill Downs. I mean, he's really kind of blossomed there. He broke his maiden, then he came back and he won the Holy Bull, a Grade 3 at Gulfstream Park. He finished 4th in the Fountain of Youth and came back and won the Bluegrass by a nose to East Avenue that ran out of his mind that day at Keeneland. But the thing about this is, and Ian Wilkes is the trainer, and all I can say is that this horse, I hear a lot that this horse has been really doing real well there, like he's blossoming at the right time. Jonathan?
He certainly is, and I was between keying him and another horse in the race, and I ended up on the other horse, and I may end up switching because I think this horse is like 12-1, isn't he?
Burnham Square is currently 15-1.
Bada bing.
That's just a crazy price. I mean, this horse has 6 career starts. He's never done anything wrong, and the work he put in the other day, people are still talking about it. It's one of the best works of anyone in this field. You must use this horse, and he's even a possible key at that price for me.
And his jockey knows how to win a Derby.
He certainly does.
Yes.
And he'll be saving ground, and he won it last year, and he won the race, not Mystic Dan. Mystic Dan was the horse that won, but it was the jockey
The
that
ride
won
that
the
he
race.
gave him produced the win, no doubt about it. All right, number 10 is Grande. He was the latest of the late scratches. Grande is out, why is he out?
Well, he had a foot bruise for Todd Pletcher. He will fight another day. He's out. And one quick note on Burnham Square for you guys. If you do like him, watch him in the paddock with all these people and in the post parade. Every once in a while, he gets very washy.
Yeah.
Last time he was nice and calm at Keeneland, and he ran a better race. Don't worry about the mile and a quarter. He will run all day. It's just a matter if he's good enough. He's going to give you whatever he's got. He's a very honest horse. He's not a big horse, but he'll be finishing, and you got the right rider there in Brian Hernandez.
Yeah, sure do. All right, so we got Grande scratched, quarter crack. We now go to the 11 horse Flying Mohawk. This is the horse that finished second in the Jack Ruby Stakes at Turfway to Mr. Gambit. And he won this race before that, but it was an optional claiming race. It looks like this horse is kind of an outsider, but takes the blinkers off for this race. John?
I think this was the owner's decision to run. I don't think this was the trainer's decision to go. He's a turf specialist. I don't like to see you're making an equipment change in the Derby, blinkers off for this race. He ran okay. He was no match for Final Gambit last time on the Tapeta. Never raced on dirt. I just think he's in the wrong spot. He's a nice horse, but these are different horses than what he's been facing. So for me, he's an absolute pass.
Yeah, the trainer does a terrific job, but this is a bad spot. I think you're right. I think it was the owners that pressed him to run here. You know, owners get Derby fever, and rightfully so. They put a lot of money in the game, and they, you know, if you get a chance to go, you should go, but he doesn't belong here.
And he's 32 to 1.
His trainer, D. Whitworth Beckman, has been winning quite a few races in that part of the country lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is a horse that's owned by Jason Worth, the baseball player.
right,
This is the
right.
one, right?
Yeah.
So the odds will probably be less. Oh, it's 32 to 1, not that
32 to 1.
Well, they're not done betting yet. Number 12 is East Avenue. Boy, this horse had such a great upswing future to him when he started out as a 2-year-old. He won the Breeders' Futurity at Keeneland, running away from them. He went wire to wire in that one. Had a horrible start and was totally eliminated in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. So then you wait for him. He comes back at Fairgrounds in the Risen Star, and he runs a terrible race. I mean, he runs right up the racetrack, getting beat by a zip code. But then they get back to Keeneland, and he runs a race that's like out of his mind again. I mean, he won. He finished second by a nose to Burnham Square, but he made all of the fractions in that race. So it makes you wonder now if he's just a horse for the course of Keeneland, or what's going on there, Jonathan.
But they're at Churchill.
Yeah,
The interesting
yeah,
thing,
that's
Ralph,
what I'm
is
saying.
that they put blinkers on him last time, and maybe that's what made the difference. Not only that, he was really bet. How could he go off 5 to 1 off of the two previous, his race 2 and 3 starts back? So they knew that whatever they did, they fixed him. Because you were right, Ralph. If you remember, after his first couple of races, everyone thought, and he had a legitimate excuse in the Breeders' Cup. But the problem with him is he just adds more speed to the mix here, and that's why I don't think he has any chance, to be honest with you.
John?
What's the odds, by the way?
East Avenue is currently 37 to 1. Now, either way, he's got a job in this race. He's owned by Godolphin, who
Right.
also owns Sovereignty, who comes from Off the Pace. At the very least, I don't think there's going to be any tactics involved with East Avenue. You send him out of the gate. You make sure the pace is fast. If he shakes loose, maybe he gets brave. If he doesn't, you get out of the way so the other horse comes running. But you're going to know he's in the race. He's quick. And the jockey really sent him from the gate last time, and he hung on pretty good. I mean, they came home slowly, but he fought every step of the way. To me, I think he's going to be the speed of the speed in this race just because of what he has to do. So it wouldn't be impossible. Maybe he hangs on for a third or fourth if you're playing the tries or supers. I don't think he's going to win the race. There are better finishers here, but you're going to know East Avenue was in this race.
Yeah, and by the way, Tyler Gaffleon was his regular rider, but he got injured, so Luan Machado rode him in the Bluegrass, and he figured that the only chance he's going to have to make any money, he just sent this horse and let him go and let him run. And now Manny Franco gets aboard for Brendan Walsh. Number 13 is Publisher. Here's a horse that's run 7 times in his life and is still a maiden. But yet, on February 23rd, trainer Steve Asmussen somehow or another convinced Flavien Prat's agent to put Flavien Prat on this horse in the Rebel Stakes, which was a race that was worth over $1 million on a maiden. Well, the horse got in a little trouble in the race, but he sure came on. He was closing fast in that race. Then we go to the Arkansas Derby. Pratt comes back on this horse. This time, He closes again, and he finishes second to Sandman in the race. Now, Pratt, of course, is scheduled to ride Baeza, so I don't know what to make of that. But instead, Steve Asmussen gets the services of Ired Ortiz Jr., and a maiden hasn't won the Kentucky Derby, but it has been done. Last time it was in 1933. Is it about time?
90 years.
Yeah.
You got a lot going on here because Steve Asmussen, for as many races as he's won in North America, he's never won the Derby. He's over 26 in the Derby.
Yep.
He's run a maiden here, who's never won a race, and there's so much to think. Well, just throw this horse out, but he can run a little bit, and he'll finish. He'll get the 1.25 miles. Flavien Prat jumped off before he had the mount on Baeza, which was interesting. He didn't have a mount. He was just sitting there with no ride. But it tells you something that our Rad Ortiz said, well, I'll ride him.
Well, he doesn't have a mount, so he's taking the,
Yeah. But anyways, it could have been, well, I don't want to ride that horse.
What's his price?
Right now, publisher is 29 to 1. He's a horse that I think could get into the try.
Oh, he's going to get in that try.
Yeah,
guarantee he'll be coming at the end.
He'll run all day long.
Yeah.
That's the plus he has.
And by the way, in case you're talking about, he is by American Pharoah too.
He's by American Pharoah. Yeah, and he just looks like he wants to run all day.
And he looks like he's getting better all the time. He doesn't know that. Well, I broke my maiden in the Derby. He doesn't know.
Well, that
He
would be
doesn't read the form.
Well, I hope Steve Asmussen doesn't tell him either. But
Yeah.
he's got obstacles, but he can run. And again, if you're trying to complete your exotic, your vertical wager with a price, he's a horse you could definitely use.
You guys are the handicappers, but this is the most interesting long shot in this race to me.
Yeah.
Jonathan?
I agree, Ralph. I mean, he's just going to run the same race he ran either of his last two starts. He has a chance to get a piece. I don't think he's going to win, but I think, he has a chance to get a piece.
29 to 1 in the exacta, trifecta, or super.
Juices it up.
Makes it happen, baby. All right, the next one is number 14, Tisttastic. This is also trained by Steve Asmussen. This one figures a little bit more than maybe Publisher does on paper anyhow. Tisttastic won the Louisiana Derby, and rather impressively, I thought. And he is, of course, owned by local, people, the Winchells.
The donuts.
The Winchell donut, yeah. And so the Winchell Thoroughbreds also has been trying to win this race for a while. And Tisttastic comes in with good form overall in his races. He has good form, but he's a little bit light on winning. But he sure did win good in the Louisiana Derby. And what do you say, Jonathan?
I don't really like him here, Ralph. Actually, the last race he ran was the best race of his life, and I think he's going to regress and bounce off of that race. What's his price, John?
Tisttastic currently 18 to 1. I can't believe he's a shorter price than Publisher.
Yeah, well, Publisher's a lot. I think Publisher's got a much better chance than Tisttastic, personally.
Oh, okay.
Well, he did win at a mile and 3/16 last time, but it was an absolute total setup. They went fast early. They walked home late. I bet this horse that day. He won. I don't think he was impressive at all. My notes were, don't touch this horse next time. He's been working in company with Publisher. He's been getting outworked a ton over at Churchill Downs. If he's just a race day kind of horse, fine. He'll get the distance, but I don't need him in this spot. So pass for me.
All right, the 15 horse is Rendered Judgment. This is trained by Kenny McPeak, who, as you know, won the Kentucky Oaks and the Kentucky Derby last year. Julien Leperoux will ride for Kenny. The horse broke his maiden, and then the next time you see him, he's in this race. However, he did run second in the Virginia Derby to the aforementioned American Promise. The only thing that he's got going for him is, I understand there's some rumors that he might have a quarter crack too.
Yeah, this is another one. I heard he actually bled after the workout.
From his hoof?
Yeah, from the hoof, and they were going to...
Not good.
No, and on an off track, you don't want to bet a horse that's going to be wearing a bar shoe. What's his price?
Rendered Judgment currently 15 to 1.
That's crazy.
Again, it's McPeak.
Yeah.
It's got to be the McPeak factor. You got to remember one thing. These are advanced wagering. A lot of people that come out for the Kentucky Oaks go to the Kentucky Oaks Day or on Thursday, Derby Day, because they don't want to be back or can't go back for the Kentucky Derby. So they are making their bets early most of us are still waiting to make our bet. So that could be a little bit skewed there, that advance wager.
Well, he's owned in part by Dream Walking Farm. That's Toby Keith, so
Yeah,
he's got
yeah.
fans out there.
That's what it is.
But it doesn't. This was not again a Kenny McPeak decision to run. This was the owner saying we
Right,
want to
'cause
run in the Derby. He was entered last minute, and he originally kept Baeza out of the race on entry day.
Yeah.
When they decided that morning, okay, we're going to throw him in the race. I'd rather have a plan of going in as opposed to just deciding the morning of to take the shot. So, and with the physical thing on a very firm Churchill Downs main track that we've seen this week, you're asking for trouble.
One wonders if all of those veterinarians, the association veterinarians, are going to pull the plug on him tomorrow morning.
They may.
All right. Anyhow, number 16 is Cole Battle. This is the good feel-good story of the Kentucky Derby, no doubt about it. Trained by Lonnie Radley, and this horse just did everything there at Oaklawn Park. I mean, he won the Smarty Jones. He came back and won the Rebel. He finished third in the Arkansas Derby to Sandman. His trainer said he thought he was a little light in the Arkansas Derby and blamed himself.
Right.
For the training. He took the heat for that.
He missed a week or something.
Yeah.
He missed a workout.
But this horse definitely, if it was running at Oaklawn Park, you have to take a long look at him. But I don't know about the Kentucky Derby. But what a great story this is, though, if he manages to pull it
Yeah,
off.
I think the clock strikes 12 and the Cinderella story ends tomorrow for this horse. But you're right, it's a great story, and he's easy to root for. You know, a lot of guys in this game, well, whatever. Anyway, he's a feel-good story. Unfortunately, I don't think he's good enough.
You know, he's a versatile horse in that he can lay near the pace if it's slow. It won't be slow tomorrow, but he can come from off the pace. Mm-hmm. But I thought he got exposed in the Arkansas Derby. They went a blistering pace, and he might have moved a little bit early. Vargas, who rides him tomorrow, made his move into the turn, got up close, and then he flattened out a little bit. That told me maybe he's not a mile and a quarter horse. And you're right. If he wins, fantastic. I just think against this kind of field, he might have a problem. And if you look at speed figures, he really isn't fast enough to beat this field.
Price?
Cole Battle currently 26-1.
Number 17 is Sandman. Brother Jose will ride against his brother Irad in this race. Trained by Mark Cassey. This is the horse that did win the Arkansas Derby and pulled away in the stretch to do it. And I don't know. I mean, that was a great race there, but can he put
He
two?
also had a perfect setup there, Ralph.
Yeah,
They
that's
were
what I'm saying.
flying early.
Can he do?
laid back.
Can
and
he do
passed-
two in a row?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
What is his price?
Sandman is currently the second favorite. He's 9-2.
This has to be the worst 9-2 shot to ever run in the Kentucky Derby. I mean, he could win, obviously,
And
but
remember where you heard that when they're in the winner's circle tomorrow, folks.
if he wins at 9-2, hats off to him. I mean, I can't even imagine betting this horse at 9-2. I really can't.
Yeah, he won an absolute setup in the Arkansas Derby. And even then, when he hit the front, he's still really green. He started drifting in and out.
Yep.
You know, he's like, what am I do now? And he has ability. There's no doubt he has ability. But that race was fast early, slow late. So the big closing move you see on paper really wasn't any. Visually, it didn't look the same. I think he's going to be up against it. You know, if you want to use him in the bottom, I just don't see any value in him at 9-2. And he's going to get a different type of thing. I don't think he can outclose some of the horses in this race, and I don't think he's going to get first run on some of those other horses either. So you're kind of in Never Never Land.
By the way, Cole Battle beat him. Sovereignty beat him. You know, so he's already been beaten by other horses in the race, just pointing it out. And he's 9-2.
Owen Almighty beat him.
Right?
Tisttastic beat him. All
Why
right.
is he 9-2?
Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 18 is Sovereignty. Now, I can tell you this, that if the early fractions are fast, this horse is going to be a major factor by the time they hit the wire. Sovereignty is a steadfast closer. He broke his maiden when he was close to the pace, but that is not the way he runs. He's not most effective there. And he has won a race already on the Churchill Downs racetrack as a 2-year-old in the Street Sense Stakes.
By 5 lengths.
Yeah, that means a lot.
It certainly does.
It means a lot when you win a race over the racetrack. He, of course, won the Fountain of Youth, came back and finished second in the Florida Derby, and I think he's a live horse. I think he's a very live horse there. Bill Mott trains. Junior Alvarado will re-ride. He's back now after his injury. And what do you think, John?
I think you're going to see a masterful training job here by Bill Mott. This is a horse that got sick over the wintertime, came back in the Fountain of Youth. You have to remember at Gulfstream Park, the mile and the 16th has the very short stretch. They go to the first wire.
Yep.
The way that track is laid out, it wasn't a good racetrack for Sovereignty with his closing style. He still got up and beat River Thames and Neoquis. All of a sudden now he has the Derby points, so he doesn't need to win the Fountain of Youth. Mm-hmm. He draws the far outside post. You know, his jockey was injured, Junior Alvarado. Bill Mott tells Manny Franco, get him around there safe, let him finish up.
Yep.
That's exactly what he does. He runs a solid second to Tapan Street. He is set for the best effort of his life. He's a pattern, Bill Mott knows what he's doing. His horses run big on big days. Like you say, he won a very good rendition of the Street Sense last year. He destroyed Tisttastic and Sandman, and there's another horse in the second race tomorrow, Bucket.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name, but he was in that field, and he ran second in the Lexington Stakes coming back. Mm-hmm. It was a good field, and I don't have any doubt he'll get in a mile and a quarter. He'll love the long Churchill Downs stretch, and he's going to get pace to set him up. So
Price.
he is currently 9-1 off the 5-1 morning line.
Hold on a second. You're going to have this guy going ballistic.
Well, I'm going to follow him.
He's got Sandman at 9-2 and this horse at 9-1.
9-1 on this horse is a
Can we
bargain.
get a matchup?
I tried.
Yeah, me too. I agree with you. This is my top pick in the race. This horse has 5 starts. He's never gone backwards on the figures.
Nope.
Every race in his life is better than the previous one. I agree with everything John said. He didn't need the last race. He had enough points. He was in. He wasn't squeezed for that race. I was between Burnham Square and him, and I ended up on him for all the reasons. And he's 9-1. I mean, that's crazy.
One other thing, John, too, he's a very lackadaisical workhorse. Mike Welsh from Daily Racing Form pointed that out during the winter. Mm-hmm. He's come alive at Churchill Downs. He's working really, really well, and he's not an aggressive workhorse. I think he's sitting on go.
Yeah,
Agree 100%.
I do too, and we just screwed the price out of that one. All right, number 19 is Chunk of Gold. All I can say is the name might be the best thing of him. Chunk of Gold.
Well, what's good about him, Ralph, is this. You talk about feel-good stories. There's a bunch of horses in this race that I'm sure they paid millions of dollars for. This horse, $2,500, and he's running in the Derby. So you want a feel-good story, you want to root for an underdog, this is your horse. Not that he has any chance, but still. $2,500 and you get to run in the Derby?
Are you getting the impression that he wants all you guys to bet all these other horses and he wants to stay Sovereignty at 9-1?
He's 28-1 right now, and
28-1.
He should be, a lot bigger price than that.
But it is a nice story. You spend $2,500 and you get to go to the Derby.
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. He hasn't won any preps. He broke his maiden. He's never beaten winners, and he kind of slunked up for second in that race, the Louisiana Derby, where everything fell apart late.
Tisttastic only beat him by 2 lengths.
Right. Yeah. Well, let's see what happens tomorrow.
$2,500 and he's made $348,000. Woo! All right. Now we get to number 20, Owen Almighty. This is the horse that performed very well out at Tampa Bay Downs by winning the Pasco. Then he came back and finished second after battling head-to-head in the Sam Davis. Came back and won the Tampa Bay Derby and finished sixth after battling with East Avenue in the race, the Bluegrass at Keeneland.
What's his price?
That's where he stands now.
Owen Almighty currently 39-1.
Yeah, well,
doesn't he figure?
Yeah.
Yeah, 39-1 is just right for him, right?
The problem with this horse is the trainer didn't want to run him, and the owners made him run. They wanted to run in the Pat Day Mile. He was in the Derby. He was out of the Derby. When a trainer doesn't want to run and the owners make him run or certainly try to influence him to run, probably not a good idea. I mean, I know plenty of people that own horses, and if the trainer tells them no, but they say yes, the trainer's right like 99 out of 100 times. This horse has no chance.
Well, the other thing too, John, is that once the owners decided we're going to run the Derby, Brian Lynch in the morning training the horse was trying to get this horse to rate, take out the pace, and finished. He said that's the only way he can get the mile and a quarter. Then he draws post 20. You know, he's into post 18 now, but now he has to go from that outside post. So about the 8th pole, he may need a cab to get home. He's a fighter. He's an honest horse, but I don't see how he gets the mile and a quarter, not from that post with the speed to his inside.
You think the horse is confused by now?
I am.
All right. Now we went through all of the horses.
No, we got one
Oh,
more.
we got Baeza. That's right. He got in. Baeza got in. Yeah. Finally. Flavian Pratt aboard Baeza. John Sheriff's a very, very cagey and deliberate trainer on this horse. You could see that he brought him along slowly, as Sheriff's normally does. And he ran a heck of a race in finishing second to Journalism in the Santa Anita Derby, but that was only a 5-horse field. And so now Flavian Pratt gets aboard him, and that's a good sign when Flavian Pratt decides to ride this horse. But he's going to break from the outside
What's
post.
the price?
Baeza is currently 18-1. He was 52-1 yesterday before he got in
Right.
officially. So after the folks knew that he is in the race, he's taking some money.
The real problem, though, with this horse is he had it easy last time out, and Journalism beat him on the square. Journalism had all the trouble in the race and everything else, and this guy was minding his own business, cruising along, and he still got beat by Journalism. So what makes you think he's going to turn the tables tomorrow? What he has going for him is that John Sheriff's takes his time, he's conservative, he never squeezes horses early. The horse is only making his 5th career start. You could be sure he's going to run his best race tomorrow. Is it good enough? Probably not, but at that price with Pratt and everything else, I could see using him.
John, all I can say is that another good thing about this horse is Flavian Pratt.
Well, that doesn't hurt at all.
No.
Give me Flavian Pratt anytime, any surface. I'm a happy camper. If you're looking for a horse bred to win the Derby, this is your horse. He's a half-brother to Kentucky Derby winner Mage. He's a half-brother to Belmont Stakes winner Dornoch. He cost $1.2 million, so he's not an ugly little child. He's a pretty good-looking son of a gun. And he's got ability. I know John Sheriff's really tightened the screws for the Santa Anita Derby because it was his only chance to get Derby qualifying points to get in the race. He ran a great race. He ran second. He was second best. And the reason he did not get in is because of the small field size at Santa Anita. They discounted the number of points that were available. Mm-hmm. So he had to sit on the outside. So instead of being able to draw a better post, he had to sit, hope to get in, and now he's assigned post 19. He has a lot of ability, but he's another Mayfoal. I know he's not 3 years old yet. This is not a 3-year-old, but he's going to be a terrific horse in the fall. He's still a little immature in that when he made the lead last time, he kind of started gawking around. Again, now what do I do? Mm-hmm. When he figures it all out, he's going to be a really nice horse. I don't know if he's there yet mentally to handle 150,000 people in the Kentucky Derby, but he's definitely a talented horse.
All right. Now we did go through the whole field. Now it's time for you guys to tell us how to structure whatever bets you advise in this race. I'll let you go first, Jonathan.
Well, I'm going to key Sovereignty, obviously, especially if he stays anywhere near that price. And in exactas, I would use the 2 small. You don't need much. He's 50-1. You can certainly use the main punches should be with the 8 Journalism, the 9 Burnham Square, and a little bit with Baeza. So 18 with 2, 8, 9, 21.
21. All right.
This is a very simple betting race for me. When it comes down to it, I think it's a 2-horse race. I think it's Journalism and Sovereignty. I like Sovereignty in this spot just because I do think he's going to run the best race of his career tomorrow. I don't know if it's good enough to beat Journalism, but at 9-1, I'm willing to find out. I played a pretty good size exacta box earlier today, so I'm locked in on this exacta box. I'll bet, depending on what I have in rolling bets going into the race, I'm only going to use these 2 horses. But I'll probably bet Sovereignty across the board. And don't forget, whether you're trying to make a score or not, the place pools are huge, the show pools are huge, And you usually get overlays on those place and show prices on your horses here. So don't be afraid to take a profit anywhere on the board. I don't bet horses to place and show very often, but I'll bet this horse across the board. And yeah, if he wins, John, the Godolphin will win their very first Kentucky Derby. They've won about everything else in the world.
Yep.
They want this race, and that's why I think East Avenue will go fast, and then they'll try and set this horse up in the race.
By the way, if you're playing Superfect, there's no 10-cent supers, which is, unfortunate, for, especially in 20-horse fields when you got to bet dollar supers. So the players kind of get the raw end of the deal again, unfortunately, but that's the way it goes.
All righty. So now we got the bets in the Kentucky Derby, but tomorrow at Churchill Downs, they're going to have just a bunch of great stakes races. And some of the other races, we're going to go over quickly 3 other races for you before we get this wrapped up. We'll do it as they'll roll out tomorrow. The first of the 3 is the 6th race, the Pat Day Mile at a 1-turn mile, the way Churchill is laid out. It's a 1-turn mile. 9 have been entered in the race. And the morning line favorite in there is Madigan Road at 2-1 with Irad Ortiz Jr. breaking from the rail. But this turns out to be this race could have turned out to be a really, really good race earlier. But some of the horses
Owen
got
Almighty
in. Yeah, some of the horses got in the Derby.
Right.
But in any case, Madigan Road, and that of course is a Bob Baffert trainee, is the morning line favorite in that one. And Jonathan, I'll let you go first.
I like a bit of a price horse here, Ralph. I like the number 4 horse, Smokin' Wicked. This horse has a win at Churchill, winning a second, actually, in his 2 starts. If the track is off, he's 1 for 1. I think he's going to get a good trip in here. Brian Hernandez rides, and what I like best is a 12-1 on the morning line. I think this horse has a legitimate shot.
For me, I think you try and beat the Bob Baffert horses in here. I don't really know what Madigan Road wants to do if he's his 1-turn races have been just okay. He doesn't really finish, and he's not quick enough to make the lead. He looks like he's a route speed kind of horse. And then you have Gaming, who's kind of been just a funny horse. He did win the Del Mar Futurity at 7 furlongs. He's trained okay for this, but I don't trust either of them. I think the people who should be rewarded for running in this race own number 2, Built. Eclipse Awards Thoroughbreds also owns the horse that I like, Sovereignty, in the Kentucky Derby. Built had enough points to get into the Derby.
They own journalism. They own journalism.
Journalism.
Yeah.
What was I saying? But the Eclipse Award people could have left Built in the Kentucky Derby to exclude a horse like Baeza.
Right.
They're doing right by the horse because they think he's a 1-turn mile horse. I think he is too. And he can sit off a fast pace and finish. So I think he's going to love the 1-turn mile. His 7 furlong maiden win was good. I think cutting back is what he wants to do here. So 7-2 for me on Built. That's a pretty fair price because I think you're going to get it with the Bob Baffert horses in here.
Got to tell you, Built at 7-2 and Smokin' Wicked at 12-1. That'd be a nice exacta box. Siraco play exacta box. You're right. Okay, one of the other races left that we're going to look at is the 7th race on the card. It's the Twin Spires Sprint, scheduled at 5.5 furlongs on the turf for 3-year-olds and up. Now look, it's really scheduled to rain there. And if this...
They're not taking him off, though, Ralph. It's a state. I don't think. Do you think?
Well, unless it becomes dangerous to run on there. But so keep that in mind when we're talking about it. We're talking about it as if it's going to stay on the turf. John?
I like a horse in here quite a bit, and that's number 7, Think Big. He came into Keeneland from the fairgrounds where when they put him on turf, he really came alive. He took a massive class hike in the Shakertown, the grade 2 over there, and he was much the best in this field. He was always traveling well, got the money. I thought there was more in the tank there. He shows 2 works out of that race. He's just a horse getting better and better at the right time, and he handled the good turf at fairgrounds, which is like a bog usually. So if it does pour, I don't think any kind of give in the grass is going to hurt him one bit. He's 4-1 on the program. I'm going to single him in a lot of rolling bets to try and skate through. The horse he ran down, Rogue Lightning, is back in this race. He'll probably have to run him down again. So an exacta box, maybe 7-8, but I'm going to bet the 7, Think Big, to win.
I like the 3 horse in here, No Balls.
He's out.
He's out?
Scratch
No
the,
balls?
Scratch
He's
the
not
3, no
running.
balls. Scratch the 4, 1-timer. 2 scratches in this
Come
race.
on, he has no balls.
He has no balls. Okay. Blame Ralph, not me. I have no opinion anymore.
Oh, no opinion now?
I was throwing a curveball. I swung and missed.
All right. Well, you got to think big.
Yeah, obviously.
All right. Then we'll go to the 10th race, the Derby City Distaff
Yeah.
at 7 furlongs, fillies and mares 4-year-olds and up. It's an overflow field of 16. Are there any early scratches in that one,
Got
John?
3 scratches so far. Number 4, Awesome Treat is out. Number 5, Hull and Ice is out. And number 14, Tax, who ran the other day, is out.
Right.
I've heard rumors that number 10, Darth Vader, and number 13, My Main
Squeeze.
My Main Squeeze were supposed to come out, but they weren't scratched today.
Okay.
Okay, Ralph. So the only thing more ridiculous than Sandman being 9-2 is Copian being 8-1. If this horse is really 8-1, I would be shocked. I mean, this horse is, comes from Southern California. He's getting better with each and every race. Kazuchi Kimura rides for Dick Mandela. I love this horse in this spot.
I agree with you. I think she's really good. She got sick and she missed some time. So the only question for me is she 100%? But if you watch the workouts on XBTV, she's working
He
lights
wouldn't
out.
run her if she wasn't. I
No,
don't think.
right,
I would-
no,
not
not
Mandela.
Mandela, no.
Mandela.
I agree 100%. She's a really good filly. She'll probably have to run down Ways and Means if it comes back for Chad Brown. But Copian, if you get over 3-1, that's fair value.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got some of the key races tomorrow done for you guys. And before I do that, I need a long shot, a live long shot, anywhere on the card from you guys.
All right. I got one in the 9th race, Ralph. This is scheduled to be a mile and a 16th on the turf. The number 6 horse in here, Maximum Promise. Ken McPeak sends out this 3-year-old who's only run on the turf once, and that was in his career debut. However, his last 2 races on synthetic, both very, very good. He's an improving horse. He's getting better with each start. 20-1 on the morning line. Number 6, Maximum Promise, is worth some sort of a play.
20-1, yeah. Ooh, boy. John?
I'm going to go right back in that Derby Distaff and try and pick up the exacta with Grand Job, number 15 on the program. She did get into the race. Mm-hmm. You look at her record, she's never been beaten around one turn. She just found a mile and 60th a little too far at Gulfstream Park, came back with a nice, easy win. She steps up in class. She's drawn outside. She's very fast. So I think she's going to get a nice, clear trip either on the lead or pressing the pace. 7 furlongs ought to be perfect. I think Copian's a better filly, but at 10-1 on the program, Grand Job can definitely get in the exacta.
So that's a good exacta box then. Copian, the 2 horse, and the 15 Grand Job. 2-15, 15-2.
That works for me.
Okay.
Why not?
Well, you've heard enough from us. Now, if you got any questions from you guys, go ahead and lay it out on us, and we'll get the guys to answer those questions. Anybody's got a... Yes, sir.
Who's your best horse for an off-track?
Best horse for an off-track.
In the Derby?
Already on the race.
You're looking for a horse that gets that big mud mark like it used to be in the racing
X
form.
with the
Yeah,
circle.
the X with the circle.
Yeah. Go ahead, John.
I'm looking through. I'm trying to figure out exactly where we're going to go here. You know what? We didn't touch on the Churchill Downs Stakes, which is probably the second best race in the card.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about that.
Let's do it.
What race?
That's the eighth race on the card. You have Mindframe, who ran, second or third in the Belmont of a very short schedule. And you have Nisos finally returning for trainer Bob Baffert. This was the best horse in California before he hit the sidelines, and he's training good again. But they're not the only 2 in here. You've got horses like Bookham Dano, who's honest, banishing Extra Anejo, comes off a big win. And I don't like him in the race, but to answer your question, if it comes up wet, keep an eye on Hoist the Gold. This is pardon? This is the 8th race at Churchill tomorrow. Number 8, Hoist the Gold, loves the wet track. He's got speed, and he's going to be a huge number against a tough field. So maybe you look at that, but I want to watch and wager on this race either way because it's really loaded. It's a terrific race.
I would look at the 4th race if you're looking for a horse that loves water in the track. Number 9, Liberal Arts. Brad Cox sends out this horse. He's 2 for 3 on a wet track with a third, and he's drawn well. He's drawn outside. It's a 1-turn mile there. Louis Sayers rides. I like the rider switch, and He's going to be ultra tough, and if it's wet, he's going to be even tougher.
Well, I want to thank you guys. You see that?
You got everything.
We got you came for a Derby seminar, and you're getting all these other horses too. Anybody else?
The
I
question
think
is, who do we like in the race before the Derby? And that is the Old Forester Turf Classic.
Classic, yeah.
I've got a couple scratches in there for you. You can take out number 5, I'd Rather Be Blessed, and number 11, Brilliant Birdie, who won yesterday. So we're at a field of 10. And John, I'll let you go there first in the American Turf.
I like the one horse in there, Integration. Shug McGahee, Frankie Dettori has the mount, and this horse is really in top form now.
For me, I thought Running Bee was really good at Tampa Bay last time. Flavian Pratt's on this horse for Chad Brown. That's always good. I'm not sure how much a soft turf course would hurt this horse because Tampa was really hard that day. But I just think this horse is in career best form. 5-1 is a fair price in an absolute wide open race. If you're playing rolling bets, get as much coverage as you can because I think trip is going to make the difference here. And if it's a trip race, Flavian Pratt's a good choice for me.
Oh, no question about that. That's for sure. Okay.
That's it.
All right, you're going to wrap it up then because we have a long day tomorrow, don't we, folks?
Starts early. Post time's 11 a.m., 8 a.m., I guess, here.
And you
8
can
a.m.
bet the early races
Tonight.
now if you want. Before it's hard without knowing the weather, but you can play them if you're not going to get out here right away.
Yeah. Want to remind you, the exhibit hall opens at 9 a.m., so you can come out and bring your friends, big screen TVs, great prices on the food and beverage, etc. A hat contest that they're going to, the hat contest they're going to giving away cash prizes, and
Kinds of stuff.
and the head-to-head betting that they posted here in the book. You can bet that before you leave tonight. The head-to-head betting is this: they match 2 horses against each other.
You don't have to win the race.
They can finish last and next to last. It doesn't matter. All you have to do is beat the horse that you're matched up against when you make the head-to-head bet. That's all it is. Okay?
I think that's all.
All right. I want to thank everybody here for coming out and enjoying the seminar, and certainly let's see if we can make some money tomorrow. And as always, our best wishes, of course, are to the jockeys and the horses to get around there nice and safe. We want to thank the South Point for providing this venue, and of course, I don't need to say it, but I say it all the time on the show. The South Point really loves horse players here, and we thank you for your attendance, and we thank all the folks for watching us on the internet as well. Go out there and have a great Derby, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, if you want a copy of my Churchill